This is episode 24 of the TO Sports Talk podcast. I'm your host, James Price, host of TO Sports Talk, along with Evan Brown. How's it going there, buddy?
It's going good, man, but it's a gloomy day, but you know what? We're in your studio today.
Yeah, it's a little bit cramped in here, but you know what? Hey, getting the job done, same thing. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'm at home.
Exactly.
That's all she wrote.
So you know what, guys? First off, we're going to start off with the Blue Jays and how Chaparro and Atkins bringing the Jays to 5th best farm team in the league. So we're going to be going over that and, of course, around the league and just seeing who got traded where and seeing who teams can make the, the wild card spots. So we're definitely going to be doing that with the Blue Jays segment.
And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I mean, my goodness. You know, the season it's already August. And, hey, is there going to be any dark horses for this team? There's a couple spots on the roster that we're still not 100% sure about. Could there be a dark horse? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about William Nylander's contract. And, hey, he said that we don't know if he's going to get a bridge deal or a long-term deal, but he wants the long-term deal. We'll talk about that a little later on. And, of course, go around the league.
And last with the Raptors, we're going to be talking about the backup center position is still in question for the Raptors. So we're going to be breaking down, is it going to be Greg Monroe? Is it going to be somebody else? We're not sure yet. So we're going to be talking about that, possible other free agent signings around the league, and see if the Raptors can make some noise, of course, maybe even win a championship. So we're going to be breaking that all down for you guys in episode 24 of the TO Sports Talk podcast.
So right out of the gate, guys, Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, like Evan said right off the top, the Jays. I don't know if it was if it was like Baseball Central or whoever said it, but the Jays, they have the 5th best farm system in the big leagues. I mean,
now when was the last time that we could have said that? Like I said, with Brett Lawrie being on the team, with the guy we traded for David Price.
Daniel Norris.
There's another one.
Tulowitzki trade. You getting rid of 2 top 10 prospects for him.
It's been a while. And with the Blue Jays obviously going on the rebuild, we need this. So Chaparro and Atkins, they did what they got to do. Last week, obviously, trade deadline has passed. Traded Osuna, traded J.A. Happ, traded Sungwon-Oh, traded Axford, traded all these names that weren't going to come back. And we already discussed the trades, right? Yep. So building up the farm system is always a good idea, especially when you're on a rebuild. So we're not sure what these players can do in the bigs, but it's always good to have these young guys who we don't know what their potential is.
And the crazy thing is, I mean, we talked, like you just said, about all those trades that were made with the David Price deal and the Tulowitzki trade. That unloaded a lot of the Jays' top prospects. And after that, after Alex Anthopoulos left and we saw this team started to decline a little bit, you really saw the hole that he left. And this team had one of the bottom two or three farm systems in the game.
But see, at the time, we were going all in for a championship. So what Alex Anthopoulos did, we were going all in.
You were going all in with 33-year-olds. And that's a big difference between going all in with 28, 29-year-olds that have still
33, like you don't say, like, let's just say that we're first in the league or a second in the league. Like, we're not just gonna not add pieces because
I understand
our team is old. So you can see where he was coming from.
He just traded half the farm system.
But we didn't know what the outcome was. If we would have won a championship, we would have looked at that and being like, oh, that's a steal. We got Price for 2 guys that's probably not even gonna make the team.
And Donaldson's trade still looks like it's an absolutely fantastic
so at
trade.
The time, it looked like this is the perfect example of you're gonna have to give up something to get something, right? So, and with these prospects, we traded away Price for. We traded
Tulowitzki.
Right. I mean, have they really turned out to be anything?
No, not really as of yet. So the only guy that I've seen that's been all right is Miguel Castro for the Orioles now. See, he's not even with Colorado anymore. He's with Baltimore. He's in the bullpen. He's pretty good, but again, it's a bullpen arm. It's really you trade.
It can only do so much.
Exactly. So breaking down the top 5 farm systems, number 1 is the San Diego Padres, and rightfully so. They've been terrible for years. So what do you expect? They have the number 8 prospect, number 19, 36, 40, 42, 50, and 89 in the top 100 in baseball, I guess. And then you go to number 2 is the Atlanta Braves, and of course, before the season, they were a horrific team.
And they're starting to show that they're putting the pieces
together. Their younger core is coming up, and they're starting to be a very, very good team. Number 3 is the Chicago White Sox, again, another team who has been very bad over the last little while.
They're starting to get it together,
and they're starting to find their pieces now. Then you go to the 4th best, Tampa Bay Rays. They seem like they're always on a rebuild because they can't keep any prospects around. They just traded Chris Archer at the deadline for the Pirates. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to turn out for the Pirates.
That's going to be very interesting to see there. And then you get the fifth, the the Philadelphia Phillies are number 5.
So I don't know where you saw this.
No, hold on. See, I'm going to re-scout here, guys. Oh, so it says there the Jays have the 9th. This is an older article.
Okay, so this is without we got those prospects from the Astros. Okay, so that bumped us up because we traded away Bodaro Osuna. We, pretty much had to trade him at this specific point in his career. What has happened with him? Allegations are allegations, but you've seen that he probably has done it. So I'm glad we dropped the bomb. It
had to be done, really.
Right. So with these prospects we've got now, these prospects are all in AAA or AA
for the Jays. Or the ones that we got back.
The ones that we got back.
It's literally
it's a mixed bag.
The thing I like about it, it's a mix of everything.
That's good, man.
From all these trades. So first things first, and the cool thing is that Vladdy Jr. after Baseball America kind of I guess updated their top prospects.
Yeah, okay.
Vladdy Jr. is at the top. He is the number 1 overall prospect in baseball.
So he is pretty much. So he's the best.
He's the best prospect in baseball.
And Bobichet's 2?
This is the Jays one, but I know as you see here, top 100 prospects. He's number 1.
Oh, okay.
So and then you go to Bobichette. He is the 9th best prospect in anybody's farm system. We have 2 top 10s.
That's good.
It tells you right there. Then you have Danny Jansen, who's number 73. Nate Pearson,
kind of drops
89.
off. Now it'd be interesting.
But I'm just trying to say that top prospects. We have like 5.
It'd be interesting to see what these guys we've got from the Astros, from the Rockies, are on this list because this isn't updated.
And this is the Blue Jays farm.
But this isn't updated.
This one is.
Okay, so then where's the guys we got?
Well, Hector Perez, he is not on the top 100, but he's 22 years old.
And he was the 9th best in the Astros farm system.
Right, and he's the 11th in the Blue Jays. Tells you how good the Jays farm system is now, right?
I thought they'd be a little bit higher up, to be honest with you. But
he's 22 years old. He's already pitched a game there in New Hampshire, went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, ERA of 3.60 with New Hampshire. It's in 1 start. It's hard to say. And then you have the 19th overall prospect, Billy McKinney. The Buffalo Bisons, he's in AAA. He's 23 years old. He got from the New York Yankees in the Happ trade. And since he's come over, he's hit .235. Not all that great. But again, he's 23 years old in AAA. Yeah. David Paulino, the 24-year-old, he's actually on the DL, guys. I didn't really realize this. But the guy you got from the Astros, you got Hector Perez, you got David Paulino along with Ken Giles. He's actually on the DL. He's 24 years old. He hasn't pitched yet for the Bisons.
So we got him when he was injured.
Yeah, but he's 24. He's got a firearm, and he's the 20th ranked prospect in the Jays organization. Then you go to 24th in Santiago Espinal. Name sound familiar, Jays fans? You're darn right, because
So he's reacquired.
No, because he's the one we got for the Steve Pearce trade. That was a while ago. But everyone was talking, he's 23 and he's only in high A-ball Dunedin. Oh, what the heck, this guy's going to be nothing. Well, now he's in Double A New Hampshire. And he's hitting .278, and he's got 10 RBIs. He's been doing very well down there. So a lot of people probably think a lot different.
I mean, we got Forrest Wall here.
Forrest Wall was one of the pieces. I forgot which trade. It was one of the relievers. Years of age. And it was like the O trade or the.
Sung I know because he came over from the Rockies.
Yeah. And you got outfielder Forrest Wall. He's 22 years of age. He's in Double A, and he plays.
Is that the really tall guy?
No.
Who's that?
This guy's 6 foot. Spanberger. I don't know. He's not even on this list.
So
he's not even in the top 30 because he's 22 and he's only an A ball. I don't really see
6'8", 6'7"?
He's a big guy. He can hit a lot of home runs. But Forrest Wall had a tough time in Double A over there. And
we got Sung Oh for him, so you're not expecting him to be amazing.
Exactly, and I don't really expect much out of him. But in 8 games, he's hitting .333 for the Fisher Cats in Double A.
It's something.
And he's an outfielder. Don't worry, he's not a middle infielder like Jays fans do not want.
Because we have too many.
You look at the way this team is built. You've got a lot. Like what I love doing, and I've done it over the last few days, is kind of gone positionally and kind of been like, okay, who do we got at this position in the farm system that can take the reins at some point? I could go through almost every position and find a player that could possibly fit. It's how good this farm system is. Will the Jays team be really good next year? Probably not.
Could possibly fit, so meaning that they could take a spot next year from the roster player.
I see it in the future. Maybe not right away. Do I think
Okay.
Bo Bichette's going to be the shortstop of the
Oh,
future?
Bo Bichette and Vladdy G. Okay, we know that they're going to be future Blue
Right,
Jays
so that's
for
your
a long
shortstop
time.
and third baseman right there.
That's Donaldson and
Tulowitzki. And if Tulowitzki stays on the DL all the darn time, you need a shortstop.
Now, his contract's a problem, Tulowitzki. We've looked this up in
22,
previous
23,
podcasts.
I think that's when his contract is up. It's quite a while. It's quite a long time.
But with this team, we can afford to have cap hits like that because we're not going to be contending.
Exactly. And actually, positive, I didn't really realize it. Russ Martin's contract is up after next year. It's $20 million.
Who is oh, geez. Wow.
Yeah, $20 million. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then you go to second
Who would
base.
be his replacement?
Danny Jansen, the guy in AAA.
Danny
He's
Jansen.
hitting 20. He's 23 years old in AAA. He's a very, very good defender. Got one heck
Who did
of
we
an
get
arm.
for Loop? Aaron Loop.
Jacob Wagyuspek. He's in AAA.
That's gonna run right. The last name's gonna run down the arm of the,
pretty
of
much.
the jersey.
Yeah, pretty much. He's 24 years old. I don't see him being a piece of the future.
But we got rid of Aaron.
But you never know. He's a 20. Like the way
And?
I said it, guys. I mean, you got basically the same type of player for Loop and Axford. So, and other people are like, well, what the hell are you doing there? I think for Axford, you got a reliever. Which is kind of interesting. A minor league reliever. You don't see a lot of... But
he was struggling, though. John Axford was struggling
really
in his the last month? Because he started off red hot.
Yeah, same with Tyler Clippard, and both teams have really fallen.
Whoa, okay, so...
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a first...
On the TL Sports Talk podcast,
This is
Greg Monroe headed north.
Toronto Raptors have signed Greg Monroe. We talked about this.
Wow.
We said it was going to be a good
It
move.
happened live. It happened on the TL Sports Talk. So,
if you guys probably heard the ding, so that was it right there.
And I looked at it, and I was like, Monroe headed north. I'm like, no way. So,
Wow,
we're going to be talking...
We'll get to that when we hit the Raptors. That fires me up.
Fires me up, too.
There's your backup center position
and
right
I just
there.
turned on the Xbox for the 4th time.
There you go. Well, hey, man. I know you want to play that bad, but it's okay.
Want to play the NHL, you know?
Yeah, you can play that
NHL
shit
18.
Oh, my God. Wow. But for the Jays, let's stick with that before we head north, literally, for Greg Monroe.
Yeah.
Like, the guys you got for... I mean, yes, John Axford, you got a reliever. And you got a guy that's... I think he's in AA and he's a reliever. Okay, whatever. He's very good as a reliever. Like, he is very, very good.
Yeah.
So, why not let him grow?
No, you don't
another
know.
arm.
Right, exactly. And for John Axford, he was struggling in the last month. He started off...
It's an ERA of almost 4.5.
He started off, was it ice cold, and then
No.
he got really hot?
It was the other way around. Him and Tyler Clippard were dynamite. Both had ERAs in the ones.
And that's when the starting pitching was a problem, but the relievers were saving the games.
That's why we were winning games early on.
And John Axford was... he wasn't good in the last month.
Since, really everybody...
Canadian.
Everybody except for... everybody in the month of April was fantastic.
Yeah.
Except for the starting pitchers. But after that, everybody sucked. It was rough.
So starting pitching now would be obviously Stroman.
Aaron Sanchez, if healthy.
If healthy.
Are you talking about future or are you talking about right now?
Ryan Barucki. Well, no, right. Well, right now.
Right now is all over the place. You got Stroman, you got Barucki. Right now you have Estrada, Gaviglio. There's 4. Then you fire in a bullpen day. Actually, Mike Hochschild, or whatever. However you pronounce it.
Hochschild.
He came in. He's a guy the Jays signed an hour before the game, the bullpen game. And I think Tyler Clippard went out there for an inning, gave up a 2-run shot to Nelson Cruz. We're like, oh boy, here we go. Then Mike Hochschild, whatever, comes in.
So he was on the practice squad, or like?
No, he just got signed to a minor. He just got signed to a
How
deal.
old is he?
I actually don't even really know. I didn't really look at that. But then he threw 6 innings of no runs, and we're like, okay, who's this guy?
Well, thank you for the...
So I think he's getting one of the starts against the Red Sox. So that might be quite interesting to see Jays fans at the Rogers Center.
He's a starting pitcher?
I don't know, actually.
So wait, he
came in out of the bullpen. I went 6 innings. I'm not really sure.
It's almost as worse as Morales coming in for the bull.
Okay, well, I mean, let's not get there. We don't want to get to that ever again.
K-Money, though, was not on the move. Were you surprised about how he didn't get dealt?
To be honest, I would have moved him. Just because of the fact, because he has another year left after this season.
Well, the thing is about Morales,
he's red hot.
Right, because the thing about him is that he had a vision problem. He got glasses at the start of the season. Didn't help him at all.
No, it didn't. They went back to no glasses, and it's working even better now.
But it's still the contract, I think. And for a contending team, you really want to get a guy who's making... How much is he making?
$12 million a year.
12 $12 million a year for what? Okay, for a guy who maybe 15 home runs.
Right, but he's hitting 260 this season, which is shocking the heck out of every Blue Jay fan possible.
Yeah.
He's like Justin Smoke. He had great years.
So not
After
including this
season,
year, he has one more year.
Right.
So this could be next trade deadline. We could see him move.
Well, that would be at a rental type of move.
Which is fine.
Which is okay. And
which I think most teams would want.
And I didn't realize this, actually, but Justin Smoke has an option for next season.
Is he going to take it, or is he going to test?
It's a team option.
I
think I'm pretty sure the Jays will pick that up because they put the option was probably for like $5 million or some stupid number like that because they signed him when Smoke wasn't really doing all that well.
So Smoke is gonna be in for a huge pay raise after this option.
And I think if the Jays are not contending next year, I think that's a guy you move.
I don't know necessarily because he's not old. He's what, 30, 31?
Something probably along those lines.
You could see, because I know this was a question, but let's just get into it. The Jays are going to be good. Personally, with the prospect pool being 5th in the league, I think it's going to be 2 years until we get good. 3 years until we get really good.
Yeah, I think something along those lines.
So Justin Smoke at 33 years old, I mean, that's not old.
Yeah.
And for a guy like, I think Justin Smoke can be a part of this rebuild.
He's 31.
I think Justin Smoke can be a part of this rebuild, to be honest with you.
Well, are the Jays willing to sign him to a lot of money?
A lot of money.
I don't know what he would want lengthwise, and because he's going to be 32 at the end of the contract.
Yeah. Because with a rebuild, you just don't tear everything out of the organization like Justin Smoke, like these players who can still produce. So personally, I think you keep him, you sign him to maybe like a 4-year deal would be fine.
36? You'd be okay with that?
I'd be okay with 36.
Okay.
And then he can, I don't
know. It'd be very interesting to see what the Jays do.
It'd be interesting to see the payroll of the Jays, because I know I asked you this question before, and it's interesting because I know we don't have the lowest, obviously. That's famously Oakland. Or actually, I don't even know if it's now Oakland. It's probably the Florida Marlins. Or I guess Miami Marlins now.
Yeah, that's really bad for the A's and the Marlins and guys like that. It's horrific.
This is Forbes? Or no?
This is the team...
Okay, so you got the Boston Red Sox 1, the Giants at 2, the Dodgers
6th.
Wow, I'm surprised that the Nationals are above.
The Jays are 11th. They're like middle of the road.
They're pretty good. So they have what's their payroll?
$156 million.
That's good. Who's last? Oakland? Tampa Bay Rays.
69.
Oh, Oakland's 3rd last.
The White Sox are 2nd last. Pittsburgh Pirates. Wow.
Well, Pittsburgh's not really a big market.
I see any teams that jump out. The Kansas City Royals at 129. They can't hold anybody around there. That's weird.
Okay, right. So with 159 mil as 56. A payroll, 56.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that ballpark, I see Justin Smoke.
Yeah.
No, but we see Justin Smoke. I feel like you should keep him. He's produced every season. Well, last year he didn't slow down at all. This season he's been steady. He hasn't been red hot, but he's been steady. Yeah. He hasn't dropped off at all.
No, he's in about 250. He's solid.
I think you should keep him.
I mean, if you continue to do this the rest of the season and he does it again next year, I can't see why not.
Oh, jeez.
I really can't. I mean, you look at the way this team is built for the future, and I think the Jays have a few guys on the roster right now. I think they could be key pieces, batting-wise. I think like a guy like Randall Grichuk might be a good piece. He's really come on as of late. Miss Diaz is...
What's his contract like, Randall Grichuk? Is it 2 years or 3?
Well, I think he still has a ton of years of arbitration.
We signed him when we... No, we didn't sign him.
We still have... He still has...
Arbitration, same thing as Donaldson.
Yeah, I think he has still like a ton of years of arbitration left. I think he's only played like 1 or 2 years in the big leagues, so he's
been fairly good. You got Pilar, who's... I mean...
I don't know how much left the Jays have from Pilar. I personally, I'm not sure what the plan is when it comes to that.
Right.
But he's had 3 years of experience as Randall Grichuk. He still has 2 more years after this season of arbitration,
which would
before
probably
he hits free agency at 29 years old.
So once he hits, I mean, I can't see him back after the 2 years.
Well, I mean, it depends what he proves to this team, right?
If he proves that he's a streaky guy, I can't see us even going to arbitration with him. But if he proves in the last month, it's funny. With the Blue Jays, you have a group of players in the first half of the season were doing great. All the relievers were doing great. I don't know who else was really doing...
In the first half?
Yeah, in the first half.
I mean,
maybe Solarte
was amazing. Yeah, Solarte was great. He's fallen off off a table.
Well, this is what I'm getting at. And then you have the second group of players who overtook the guys who were doing good in the first half, like
Aledmus
Diaz.
And the thing about him, he's already 28, but he only has
Randall Grichuk.
He only has 1 year of experience. So Aledmus Diaz has 4 more years of arbitration. He does not hit free agency for another 4 years.
I just hit the Xbox button for the 5th time, but now go on.
That's the count going on right now. But Aledmus Diaz and Randall Grichuk, bottom line, they have term on them.
We just need them to be healthy.
They're 20, Aledmus Diaz is 28 and Grichuk's 26.
I thought it was I'm thinking of who's that guy that got hurt again? Gurriel Jr.
Oh, the 24-year-old stud. They got that named Rookie of the Month.
Wow,
for the month of July. 438. I mean,
how's he doing in his rehab?
I mean, from what I've seen, I mean, it looks like he's running the bases, or like from what I don't know. I'm gonna look him up here. I'm gonna go to his page and kind of see what's going on when it comes to his recovery here.
Right.
Actually, why don't we just go through the injuries and kind of see who's doing what? Kind of see Aaron Sanchez. What the hell is going on with him? So on July 27th, he was going to throw a bullpen that weekend. That's all I got from him.
Jeez, he's really fallen off.
Donaldson, is there any news on him? Making rapid progress 4 days ago. Well, good for him. Maybe you could trade him. Gurriel Jr.
Too late for that now.
Gurriel Jr. He got put on the DL. He was out 2 to 6 weeks. That was 6 days ago. That
again,
happened.
It was an awkward injury too.
It was really awkward looking. Any Tulowitzki injury, people. Increased activity. That was July 12th. We probably already talked about that once.
Almost a month ago.
And that was it.
So no one's ready to come back as of now.
Doesn't look
off the DL. So Jays fans, I mean, the season's half over. I know.
Way over that now.
It's
we're at 111 games now. We only 54.
So 49
games left.
Just less than 3/4 done.
Yeah, basically.
Right. So again, it's just a grind, especially for you making all those videos. It's just a grind.
These games in Seattle were actually fun to make because
you know the Jays. Who are they facing? The Red Sox next time?
Oh, yeah.
That's a sweep. That's a sweep of the Red Sox.
Well, Ryan Brucky's pitching in the finale, so I'm very eager to see what he can do in the second game against the Red Sox.
Isn't he from Boston area?
No, he's from Chicago.
Chicago.
That's why when we played the White Sox, it was a big homecoming for him.
Was he a White Sox fan or Cubs fan?
He was a big Mark Burley fan. That's why he's number 56.
Wow.
And how Mark Burley played for the Blue Jays, that's pretty cool.
Well, for 1 year. But, didn't he play for 2?
He played for a few years with the Jays.
But he was at the decline of his
cool
career.
thing was, for Ryan Borucki, is that back when he was one of the youngsters coming into spring training, Mark Burley was obviously the veteran and showing him the ropes, and that was his idol. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That is pretty cool.
Especially to play for your idol. With the number 56 on your back, playing for your idol's number in the same team kind of thing. So... Yeah. Hats off to him, man. Ryan Borucki is a great young player.
He looks amazing. But, I mean, when teams start figuring him out a little bit, how will he adjust?
Especially when he's young.
Yeah. After the season and seeing it, I think the big key is for next year, right? He'll be great this season. Next year, if he can do the same type of thing, then we might have something real here. But it's how he adjusts to teams hitting him hard.
And most young players, they go through the sophomore slump, like what Judge has done.
A little bit.
But with pitchers,
his strikeouts are through the darn ceiling.
But he is a pitcher,
he is on the DL.
And with Russell Martin being gone, do pitchers have to adjust to the new
catchers? I mean, they have to do it all the time.
So
last year the Jays had to go through 3 or 4 catchers, and no wonder the Jays couldn't get any consistent rotation because the catchers were all over. I think Martin was on the DL a little bit too, and Luke Maile went on the DL, and then we had Rafi Lopez. Remember that name back in the day? Oh yeah.
Wait, that was the Chicago Cubs game,
right? Where he couldn't catch Osuna's pitch at all, and they ended up walking it off because he couldn't catch a ball.
Rafi Lopez, man, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
I mean, I don't know about that. That's pretty rough right there. But I mean, having Luke Maile and Russell Martin as your catchers this year, and having it be the same guys.
So Luke Maile has not played. Or no, wait, sorry, I'm not.
He's been pretty good. He's been playing.
Who's the young guy?
Danny Jansen.
Danny Jansen. Has he played with the Jays at all?
Nope, not a game yet.
Ryan Borucki and Jansen, maybe next year.
Well, we've heard actually. I think they asked Ryan Borucki a little question about Danny Jansen and kind of what he features. And apparently, he's a great game caller. He's got one heck of an arm, and he can hit the ball very well. All 3 of those things I love.
So yeah, because a couple years ago we had 3 catchers. We had Josh Tolley.
Josh Tolley, my goodness.
That was for R.A. Dickey.
That was just
right?
for R.A. Dickey, and then they let him go because R.A. Dickey's gone. They're like, all right, Dickey's gone. All right, Tolley, take it easy, buddy.
It's a package. It's a package,
pretty much. And I really miss Deonor Navarro. I thought the
big man.
Yeah, he was great with Russell Martin. Those 2 back to back. It was like
I remember him smoking the Cuban cigar after we
won the Baltimore game.
Yeah,
that was amazing. I miss those times.
Long time ago, but you know what, Jays fans?
You got to get
back there, and you can't. I mean, every team goes through this transition years, and the Jays are doing it, but they're not. But they're in the middle. Like they're not starting; they're in the middle of it. So,
right, and you look at the way this team is. They're not like.
And having Vladdy G, I didn't know that he was the first. Like,
nope.
He's like the Connor McDavid.
He was second before the season, and Ronald Acuna Jr. has played the entire year with the Braves. So when they update it, he's not a prospect anymore.
So Acuna Jr. was above Vladdy.
Well, just because Vladdy was in Double-A, and you haven't really seen a whole lot from him. Acuna was in Triple-A. So you expected that. But Vladdy is number one, rightfully so, and it's exciting for Jays fans. But I do not expect Vladdy Jr. to take the field out.
How's he doing in AAA?
I think he's in like 280 or something like that. It's in very minimal
He played
games.
a couple games.
If he has a bad game, it'll drop like crazy. It goes 2 for 2 in a game, it's right back over 300. We're like, wow, he's doing amazing. Yeah. You can't really go off of what he did. What he is walking a lot.
Well, obviously, the pitchers don't want to face him. So they just
already seeing that, eh? Pitchers don't want to see him. I love it.
In AAA, so
I love it.
In the bigs, probably going to be the same way.
I love it. And people are going to pitch him more carefully. And he has a great eye at the plate. That's going to be fantastic. Now we're going to move to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, the Leafs first, because we said the Leafs. We didn't know this. Finally, well, before we start with the Leafs, the Monroe thing happened when we were actually doing the podcast. Not like J.A. Happ and not like Roberto Osuna. So
with the J.A. Happ trade, we said it was going to be after the half an hour after. We're like,
it was a half an hour.
It was just about half an hour.
And then Osuna was a day later, I think.
No, it was later. It was like a week later.
Okay, a week later, but
something like that.
But anyways, with the Leafs, it's interesting that it's not interesting, but it's expected that the contracts are still going on. Contract talks
with
right?
Austin Matthews or Nylander.
Both,
right?
Long term for both.
You know, I think it's very interesting with Kyle Dubas. I think really, in truthfully, I think Kyle Dubas wants to sign all three guys: Marner, Nylander, and Matthews now.
Even with the Marlowe contract still on, well. It's going to be the Marlowe contract still on because you're going to have to sign them the year after. But even with the Ron Hainsey contract, I don't know of any other big names.
To be totally honest, I do not want Mitch Marner, having played with Tavares all year long, to have to go into a contract. I don't want to deal with that. The
numbers are going to influx, but I told you this, and I think I told people that someone's going to drop. The puck can only go to so many players, and with as many skilled players, you might see Marner get only 60-something points in 82 games or whatever, because the puck can only go to so many good players, right? So, and the ice time is going to be an issue too, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. Points are going to influx, obviously, rather with Marner, Matthews, whoever, Kadri, Riley, we don't know, but someone's going to drop. Last year, it was Connor Brown.
Yeah, he dropped. Will it be Zach Hyman this year? He had a great season last year.
Could Zach Hyman start on the first line and by December be on the third or even fourth?
He loves doing that when players are struggling. But the thing is, I think he loves Zach Hyman way too much to do that.
Yes, but come on. If he's struggling mightily, you have so many players that can fit in Zach Hyman's spot.
But he only had 30 points in his rookie year.
And then he had 40 this year.
No, but he only had 30 in that year, but he never moved him.
Because he's a hard worker. And,
exactly.
And again, I'm a huge fan of him. You're a huge fan of him.
Oh, big time. No matter how many points Zach Hyman gets, I think he's going to stay on that line no matter what.
Besides Komarov, I think he was the hardest working Maple Leaf out there. Yeah. To be honest with you. Those two guys were hard-nosed. But so,
what do you think they're going to do with William Nylander? Are you thinking bridge or big? I mean,
I'm thinking
the charity tournament, the ping pong tournament or table
Smash
tennis,
Fest.
That was it. Yeah.
Smash Fest. Yeah.
That Dominic Moore. Former Leaf always hosts that. And William Nylander was there this year, and there was an interview. I think it was with Rash Madani.
Oh, the man himself,
Rash Madani.
Oh,
but anyways,
he's looking good nowadays, eh?
Anyways, so he was talking to William Nylander. I think it was somebody was talking to William Nylander, and he said he would prefer a long-term deal over a short-term bridge deal.
I don't blame him because he proved himself that he could do it. He proved himself. He's a 20-goal scorer.
We talked about him having a down season this past year, and he had almost identical points as the year before.
He performed in the playoffs, man.
Yep.
He good in the playoffs, so I don't think he has anything else to prove. He's a first-line guy.
You gotta get him back.
Yeah. Now, term's one thing. It's going to be 6-7 years. Money's a different thing. I'm still saying 6. You're saying 6.5. Either one of those would be fine. 7 I'm eerie of. Less than 6 would obviously be great, but nothing really more than 6.5.
No, I can't.
7, I mean, I'd be okay with it, but
anything north 7, I'm like, whoa, okay.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Because JVR got 7, right? So, but he's obviously more of a goal scorer than Nylander, but Nylander's much younger. So,
Nylander has more to his game than JVR. Other than JVR being great in front of the net and scoring goals that way.
Well, both players. Well, I mean, like both players have different skill sets, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like
Nylander has the speed, and JVR never did.
And yeah, I do. I do agree with you there.
You know, that's what the new NHL is. It's speed.
It's all speed, right? But it's interesting. I'm with long term. Are you with obviously long term? Because
I think you got to get all 3 guys on long term deals. You do not want to have
no.
any remote chance of losing any 3 guys to free agency. If that means losing Jake Gardiner, fine.
And this is what I'm saying. I think now's the time you trade him. Not for the player, but the contract length is up. Listen, Jake Gardiner is a great player when he's on. We all know what he's like off his game. But you don't trade him because of those flaws. You trade him because of the contract. And I'm sorry, Jake Gardiner, and I don't blame him for wanting this kind of money, is going to be north of 6.
Yeah, I agree.
6 mil, 7 mil.
I'm intrigued, though, because Toronto has probably been his home for so long, and Morgan Rielly's his best buddy. Would he take a little bit of a cut to stay here and possibly win?
Interesting.
I think it's very interesting. I think it could possibly happen.
And I would love to see Jake Gardiner locked up long term.
Oh, big time.
I would love it.
Who is he, 28 now? 29?
That's fine. Give him a 5-year deal. I'd be fine with.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down, obviously.
It's funny. I remember when that contract was signed, that Dave noticed how he signed Gardiner to 4.5 over 4 years. This was back when he was 24.
Yeah, 24, 25.
Long time ago, man. Long time ago. But no, definitely lock up Jake Gardiner. But as of now, you can't. He's going to want, for a player of his caliber, there's no... I see, taking a pay cut... If Jake Gardiner takes a pay cut, it's going to be still 5.5, man.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and which is fine in retrospect. But, I mean, I don't know.
I think you got to focus on your 3-headed monster first.
Yeah.
And then if you have the money to sign Jake Gardiner afterwards, or do you try and trade Patty Marleau at some point to free up that money for Jake Gardiner?
I don't think you trade. I'm
not saying now. Maybe I'm saying in the offseason.
Well, guys, you have to realize that Ron Hainsey's contract is up, and he's making 3.5. So his contract's going to be up next season.
Yeah.
I don't know if any. I know the Nathan Horton contract's up in I think a year or 2.
But he always was on the long-term injured reserve. It doesn't really matter.
But it's still I think it's 2 mil still locked up.
Yeah, Joffrey Lupul's is gone, isn't it?
Joffrey Lupul's is gone, but Nathan Horton was making, like 5.5, and he's on injury reserve.
Hey,
so
everybody, Joffrey Lupul's a free agent if you guys want to go and sign him.
Hey, Montreal, that's some depth goal scoring for you.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe about 4 years ago, maybe, but...
yeah, who knows?
He'll just get a concussion in the second game, and then he'll be...
No, it was a hernia, and then he'll be partying in California, so have fun with that. But anyway,
he'll fail his physicals.
Anyways, quote unquote fail.
Yeah, right. And then he gets mad. The Leafs sabotage. It's all been doing.
And then they actually did the physical, and then he failed.
Yeah, so he failed again. So just quiet down there, Joffrey Lupul.
Exactly.
But I mean, the way it's going to be very interesting to see what Kyle Dubas has to do.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I don't know what's up his sleeve. He learned a lot from Lou. Where this is the Lou type of move to do, where you wait so long to get this contract. And listen, guys, training camp's in less than a month.
Wow.
It's at the beginning of September.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
Well, training camp's at the beginning of the month. When's the
beginning? Oh no,
it's the end of August. End of August, beginning of September. I think it starts.
Oh, end of August. Okay.
Because I think preseason starts mid-September, doesn't it?
Right, because the first game we play is on October 3rd against the Habs.
The Habs.
Again, guys, we can't get too cocky against Montreal because you never know what they have up their sleeve.
It's a great story of hockey. I love it. Montreal could be a dark horse team.
Yeah.
Because Carey Price is Carey Price.
Yeah.
He's down here, but he's still Carey Price.
I actually kind of want to talk about that a little bit. So, people are saying, and us included, are saying that Montreal Canadiens are going to be #1 overall draft pick, Jack Hughes. Now, I don't believe that because Carey Price, man, he was injured. He had a horrific year. If he even gets to a 9-10 save percentage, just below
He'll
average.
win games for that team.
Yeah.
He personally will.
They'll keep him out of the basement. Even with a 9-10 save percentage, I think Carey Price will keep them out of the basement. And
I don't think they're going to be a basement team. I think they'll be a bottom 5 team.
Well, that is a basement team.
Or, I mean...
Bottom 5? That's a basement team.
What else do they have, though? I'm sorry.
I mean...
Shea Weber's going to be out till December.
Yeah.
You already traded your center. What center core do you have?
Well, they said that they're starting Drew at center, which I don't...
That didn't work last year.
No, but I mean, would you do Max Domi at center?
Exactly. There's all those weird question marks. You're trying to play wingers at centers. Remember when the Leafs tried to try JVR at the center? How'd that go? He went back to the wing really quick.
Well, yeah, that was like 3-4 games, and I do remember that.
And that was terrible.
Wait, so that was Kessel, JVR at center, and
I don't know. Maybe
Bozak on the wing?
Okay, there's probably Bozak injury or something because you did not put JVR at center instead of Bozak.
No.
But the way you look at it, I mean, they have nothing. Pacioretty's their only legit goal scorer.
I get it, but I can't see them being a bottom 5 team with Carey Price being completely healthy and Carey Price. Listen, if Carey Price is off his game, that's a given that Montreal may even come last. But
the only reason they were as good as they were back in the day, and I'm not saying Carey Price was, the only reason he was good because of a good defense core. I'm not saying that.
Well, they had scoring.
But yes, they did. But you also had Subban. You also had Andre Markov. Very steady.
Well, no, you had Brian Giunta too, who could put up 40, maybe 50 points. But you had Thomas
good defensive players. You don't have that anymore.
No, because of
you're hanging Carey Price out to dry. That's basically what they're doing.
Okay, so what's their top? See, I'm gonna go. Well, again, just off the top of my head, the top 4 defensemen for the Canadians are
Carl Alzner,
and
he was terrible.
Jeff Petrie. I guess that's your no. Well, those are 2 right-handed shots, no? Or no, Alzner's left.
Alzner's left.
So that's your okay. So that's your 1-2 punch.
They have Carl Alzner, Jamie Benn, Victor Mete,
Jordy
Benn, not Jamie Benn. Victor Mete, Xavier Ouellette.
Mike Riley has been a surprise for them. Mike Riley wasn't. He's been pretty good for the couple. He was a trade deadline
in 57 games.
But when he got over from the Canadians, he
was all right.
Or from the Wild,
all that great. And they have Schlemko and Weber, who's going to be out forever, basically.
Okay, so
you don't have a top 4 defenseman, really.
No,
you could say Carl Alzner as a defensive guy, but other than that,
but he's not top 2. He's top 4,
right?
If that. So you got Carl Alzner, and you got Jeff Petrie as your 1-2.
Yikes.
Then you have Victor Mete, and I'm sorry if you have Jordy Ben your top 4.
What about Jeff Petrie? Oh, you already said Jeff Petrie, didn't you?
Yeah, that's not going to win you any games. And then you have Xavier Ouellette rounding it off, and Mike Riley, or even Schlemko. I don't know about that.
See what I'm saying? You're leaving Carey Price to sit there.
Well, Shea Weber is a big. That's like Morgan Riley.
You have forward core. Let me go through some guys. Let me go from the bottom up. Andrew Shaw.
Well, no, he's hurt actually.
Is he going to be out for the season? Expect to miss the start of the season. Sherback.
We don't know if he's
Is he a former first-round pick? Former first-round pick. Will he ever be anything? I don't know. Plekanec. I mean, my goodness. He's, 30? He just re-signed with them. He's 35 years old.
Well, they plays 1,000 games.
Pacioretty, okay.
Well, Pacioretty could not even be a hab when the season starts.
Exactly. Right? And then you got Lehkonen, who's looking for a bounce-back year.
No, he had a pretty good year. Oh, okay. Well,
he had a very good rookie season. He had a 20-goal year in his first season, but he really
Charles Hudon is kind of like a Connor Brown out of the farm system. We don't really
Brendan
know.
Gallagher, I mean, he's probably one of him and Pacioretty are their 2 guys.
Byron
Fraze, Drouin, was awful last season. Max Domi, how will he fit if he plays the center? They already have Drouin as a center.
Well, no, after coming off a terrible year in Arizona, how is he going to bounce back?
Nick Delorier, Delarose,
Michael Chaput, Paul Byron's out. I mean, honestly, I think the one dark horse, he's hurt, would be Joel Armia, because Joel Armia, guys, he has a lot of upside as a former first round pick, right? I mean, it's interesting, but I can't see. Listen, if Carey Price has at least the 9-10 save percentage, I don't think that they're going to be in the basement. But it's hard to tell now.
They don't have the scoring.
No.
They don't have it.
Well, speaking of scoring in large contracts, do you want to get into Tom Wilson?
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean,
big contract.
Well, now to take it into perspective, if the Leafs won a cup, I wouldn't give a crap who or how much money they signed for. I will, but I mean, not at the time being. Listen, if the Leafs win a cup and they re-sign Ron Hainsey to a 3-year deal at $4 million, he won a cup with us. I won't be that mad. But you have to realize that Tom Wilson is, again, a former first-round pick. He's 24, I think, now. If you could just go to that quickly. But a 5.17 cap hit. Guys.
For 6 years.
Guys, Morgan Riley is making less. Kadri is making less. Kadri scored 30 goals multiple times.
Yep.
Wilson has scored, how many did he score? 20-something? He had an unbelievable playoff run. But you're banking on a guy to score 40, 50 points next year. How's that going to turn out? You signed me...
14 goals for 35 points.
This is the type of contract you sign if Tom Wilson has had a breakout year, which he didn't. I'm sorry, 35 points. He had a great playoffs, but you're banking on him to have a breakout year.
You saw this year, I mean, a lot, especially in free agency, a lot of the grinder guys were going in free. Ryan Reeves, I think he signed a 2-year contract with somebody, didn't he?
For just over... yeah.
But I'm saying these guys are actually getting deals that can't score. You throw in a guy with grit, and that can put the puck
And
in the
again,
net.
he had an amazing playoff, but you at least give him a bridge deal. Give him a 2-year,
They don't want to lose him to free agency. They don't want that to lose. They don't want to lose him.
But I would be more comfortable giving that type of contract after he had a breakout year.
Well, will he? Will he? But
They're banking on it.
But I don't know. Do you want to do that? Like that?
Yes.
I understand you're banking on it, but
because once he does have a breakout year, okay, fine, then give him the $5 mil, $5.5 mil.
maybe he'll want more than that.
I'm sorry. I don't think any team, even if he does have a 40, 50-point year, I don't think any team is going to give him more than 5.5.
Well, clearly he made a big enough impact to make this team win the Stanley Cup.
Right. And he did have a really big impact, but that's like signing Devontae Smith-Pelly to a 3-year at $3 million. You know what I mean? He had a great playoff as well.
Like you said, they won the cup.
Right. So you have to take that with a grain of salt, because if the Leafs won the cup, we wouldn't give a crap who they really signed, because we won the cup.
Yeah, you wouldn't care.
So
I wouldn't care either. Now, something we didn't talk about as of yet was the possible dark horse for the Leafs making any Leafs players making teams out of camp. Like I said right off the top, that the forward core, there's probably like 1 or 2 spots that are still fairly open in a sense. The set fourth line center. I mean, you got Lindholm.
who?
Lindbaum.
Oh, Parr.
Parr. Sorry,
You said
Parr.
Lindholm. Like, wait, who?
Parr.
Our buddy Parr. You got obviously Tyler Ennis, who's a winger.
Right, Jalivo maybe. I mean, but
It's going to be tight, and then you have Grundstrom down there. You got Trevor Moore.
Exactly. Those are guys that could possibly come in and fill spots. Those are dark horses for this team.
And then the D-core too, man. You got.
I don't think
you got Justin Hall, a one-way deal,
and him and Carrick, I think, might be flipping.
and then you got
Carrick. I think it's Carrick's spot to lose.
Yeah, but even Borgman had an amazing playoff run with the Marlies.
Yeah. But we saw
it was Rosen who had.
Callie Rosen was fantastic in the finals.
It was Rosen who had.
Great in the finals.
It was Rosen. So, plus Rosen's left shot, Justin Hull's right, Carrick's right. So I mean, it's going to be interesting, guys. Training camp, like you said,
what the top 6 forward core looks like. You know what the top 4. Well, yeah, for the most part, not top 9. You know what the top 4 defense core is going to look like. The bottom 2 defense and the fourth line, it's still kind of iffy.
Hainsey, Riley, Gardner,
Zaitsev, just throw it in there.
And Dermott, so top 5.
Right.
Yeah, so
right, but what I mean is you don't know the matches. You don't know that bottom 2 match.
True.
It could be Carrick and Dermott. It could be Dermott and Hall. You don't really know. Like we said, for the forward core, it's either going to be Kapanen or Connor Brown there on that fourth line, but who's going to fill it out? I don't know.
Even Janssen could be on the fourth line again. We don't know.
We don't really know what's going to happen. If he has a slow start to the season, you could see him there. So it's going to be a very interesting
right. I just kind of want to go around the league. Camp. Oh, no, for sure. And guys, less than a month away. Crazy, definitely. So
any news?
Capitals add Scott Arnold, Reed Cashman to coaching staff. So obviously with Barry Trotz gone, they got to restock the. Let's talk about the Jeff Skinner trade. So the Buffalo,
fantastic for Buffalo.
So if you haven't heard, the Buffalo Sabres acquired forward Jeff Skinner, former Calder winner, for 2nd round pick.
The 3rd.
I remember this. A 3rd. Jet Wu, or no, so not Jet Wu. Who's it? Pooh. Cliff Pooh. Thank you, Jeff Wu and Cliff Pooh.
That's amazing. It just rhymes.
And then a 6th. So you're getting okay. So I don't know if Jeff Skinner can score 30 goals again. Let's just say a 20. So the Buffalo Sabres acquired a 20-goal scorer
for a 2nd, a 3rd, player that you're not so sure.
So 3 maybes or 4 maybes,
pretty much.
As in 3 draft picks and 1 prospect.
And you did not have to give up a 1st round pick for Jeff Skinner
or a roster player.
Right.
That's a steal for Buffalo. I think he's going to go great in the top. So Buffalo's top 6, if you will, would be Eichel. I guess Okposo, Reinhart. You got Skinner now. You got Casey Middlestat, and then you could throw in Berglund. Excuse me.
Patrick Berglund.
I thought he was a winger. Who's the other guy they got? So Bodka you can throw in there. He's a 15-goal scorer. They have a lot of depth. And then you have Alex Nylander too.
Jason Pominville.
Connor Sheary.
Chase Thompson.
Well, he's a center. Oh no, he's a winger. Right, but so I mean and again with getting Rasmus Dahlin too, that defense core is getting okay.
The question is, will Carter Hutton be able to be a starter?
And that's
going to be a question mark.
Yes, and that's the Achilles heel for Buffalo.
Now the good thing, I mean, he did play 32 games last year.
Same thing with Darling, though, with the Blackhawks.
Did he play 32?
Yeah, around the same, because Corey Crawford was he was going through something.
The crazy thing is, though, with St. Louis, you have a good defense score over there.
With Buffalo, it's not, again, it's okay, but it's not the greatest.
It's like the Leafs getting Jonathan Bernier. With LA, he was so good because they had an amazing defense core.
And then you have, like you said, a Cam Talbot who thrived. Well, I wouldn't say thrived, but he became a starter under the Edmonton defense. Martin Jones, right?
Guys that were backups that turned into starters. You could arguably throw Freddie Anderson. I know he was kind of like a spot.
Anthony Ranta, you could throw him in there. How he did well, I guess the second half he did great with the Coyotes. So it's a crapshoot. But a good deal for Arizona or for Buffalo, nonetheless. Fantastic. I'm gonna love to see that rivalry come alive again.
Buffalo and Toronto. That's gonna
a 7-game series.
Punching each other in the parking lots and everything. Yeah. That's gonna be fantastic. Wait for the GO train. People yelling, "Let's go Buffalo!"
First Niagara Center. Or no, wait, no. What's it called again?
I don't know what it is now.
Key Bank. The Key Bank Center is better than the Scotiabank. Like, come on.
Scotiabank Arena. What is that garbage? God.
I still don't like it, but it's in the past.
It's the ACC to me. I don't care.
But how can you deal with Tavares, Matthews, Riley,
Nylander, Kadri, Jake Gardner,
Freddie Anderson.
Oh, just throwing Travis.
And Mike Babcock's chirping all the time.
Yeah, he is. And I love his face whenever there's a stupid call.
He just smiles.
He just smiles. Like, are you guys nuts?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, it's fantastic. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, man.
We're a month away from preseason.
It's going to be good.
It's crazy.
It's going to be crazy for you to do Leaf videos again, for us to chill on Saturdays, man.
I miss Leaf games. I miss Raptor games. I miss all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of Raptors, do you want to slide into the Toronto Raptors? The first thing that broke on the podcast.
The Toronto Raptors have agreed to terms with Greg Monroe on signing a contract.
Woohoo! Me and you both wanted it.
We talked. Remember we said, it's not really a reliable source. We didn't think it was going to happen.
Well, I didn't say that because I heard it around, but, I mean... Great that we signed a backup center.
$1-year, $2.2 million
deal. That's exactly... If we go back to our last podcast,
I think $5 million. I think it was like 1 year at $5 million we said was okay.
Right. $2 million? I mean...
$2.2 million for 1 year.
How old is Greg Monroe?
He's 28, isn't he?
Oh, geez. Okay.
His nickname is Moose.
Moose! It's almost better than Dwayne Harrison on the Giants. Snacks.
Hey, that guy's my man, all right? 10.3 points a game, almost 7 rebounds a game, and he only played 20 minutes a game.
He was behind Aaron Baines? Oh, no, wait. He played... No, he was on the Celtics.
Maybe he was on the Bucks and got traded.
No. He was on the Celtics for a whole year.
Okay.
He was behind Horford and Baines. Okay. Or no, wait, I was the only behind Horford.
Or behind Baines. It doesn't matter. He's a backup to somebody.
So the Moose is heading up north. That sounds pretty familiar.
It really does, eh?
Is there any Moose in Boston?
No.
There's in Canada.
Get out of here.
Well, I don't know if there's in Toronto. He's going to like it
here because his own kind is here.
Right. There's Moose everywhere. I mean, not in the GTA.
Fantastic trade. Fantastic signing. Fantastic signing
for
the Toronto Raptors. The depth chart looks nice now.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go to the Raptors here.
So what do we got? So, okay, let's start off with the point guards. What are we dealing with when it comes to that?
So we got Lorenzo Brown, who was the MVP for the D-League.
G League now.
Oh, whatever. Kyle Lowry, and that's it.
Fred VanVleet, DeLon Wright. But DeLon Wright can play the he can play the 2 as well, so it doesn't matter.
So we got shooting guards, I guess. Next we got CJ Miles. We got Danny Green. We got OG Anunoby.
And DeLon
Wright. Great bench. The bench mob himself. And then we have, I guess, small forwards.
Kawhi Leonard.
Norman Powell. Sorry, Kawhi Leonard first.
Yeah, of course.
Norman Powell, who's looking to bounce back.
He could be a shooting guard as well, Norman Powell.
Okay, you got Malachi
Richardson. He was very good in the summer league.
All right. Anyways,
we're gonna move on from that though.
Yeah. And then we have the power forwards, which we would have Serge Ibaka
and Siakam. It's probably the same.
Are you sure we got rid of Lucas Nogueira?
I don't even care now because we got Greg. We got the Moose.
I don't even care. And then we have Pascal Siakam, who's looked great. We've
honest to goodness, if Siakam plays well and Ibaka's not great, wouldn't surprise me if Ibaka starts on the bench.
I mean, you don't have to do much to be better than Serge Ibaka, but
Siakam, he just shows a lot more.
And then you have JV and Greg Monroe with this team, guys. Now,
and the cool thing about JV,
I was looking at something on Instagram.
He established 3 before you get to your Instagram thing.
Okay.
JV was he started to shoot 3s more last year. He was very good at it. Shooting over 40%. Yeah. He was fantastic. Greg Monroe, not that type of guy. But you know what? You need the versatility. You need to have different things going on.
The rebounding. This guy's a rebound freak. And he can put in a couple points. He
averaged almost 7 a game in only 20 minutes of work.
He's a former 9th overall pick, so you know, like the Pistons drafted him that high to be something.
And he was very good with the Pistons.
Yeah, and then he dropped off obviously throughout his career, but he's
still
not
very good.
He's looked at as a swingman now.
You signed him for a 1-year, $2.2 million contract.
Can't go wrong with this, and he's looking to get back at his old team, Boston Celtics.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite interesting.
That's gonna be quite interesting.
I'm excited. I love that signing.
Okay, so going back to the thing I've said,
on Instagram,
I've seen. I saw. Oh man, what was it again? Oh yeah, it was the Eastern Conference, the standings.
Right.
So obviously Boston was first, and we were second, and below us were the 76ers and the Pacers. I don't know about the 76ers being below us.
That's I don't know. I think it's
and the Pacers being that high.
It's well, you know,
they lost Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, but they do still have Victor Oladipo. That guy did some freakish things this past season.
Who else do they have? They got
Miles
Turner.
Miles Turner. They have Corey Joseph, but I mean, he you know, a lot of Raptor fans were expecting him to be a really good-looking player in the future. But you look at Indiana and you look at the way this team is built. I don't know. They had a really good season. They have Darren Collison. They added Tyreek Evans.
Oh, okay. That's a guy that we wanted.
Al Jefferson. Oh boy.
That's Doug McDermott.
Yeah, Raptor killer Doug McDermott.
Is that Thaddeus Young? Don't tell me it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow.
Thaddeus Young.
How's he doing? Oh.
Almost 12 a game.
I can't see them being the fourth.
But who do you think? The
Wizards
above the? No.
I can see the Wizards above the Pacers.
I can't see that.
I can.
I'm sorry.
With the signing of Dwight Howard and with John Wall, Bradley Beal, who else do they have? They got, they got Otto Porter Jr., Jeff Green. Yeah, Markieff Morris, Kelly Oubre.
I don't know.
They're better than the Pacers.
He only averaged 11 a game. He wasn't all that great. Kelly Oubre was streaky as anything. He only shot 40% from the field.
Almost 12 points per game.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take like a billion shots.
We'll keep going down the list there.
Okay.
Otto Porter.
Okay.
Again, center's lacking, obviously.
Yeah, he averaged 14 a game. He was very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Wall, Bradley Beal, Dwight Howard can play. That's your center right there. He can still produce.
He's better than Gortat, but he can't. But yeah, I mean,
he's better than anybody on India. He's better than Turner, Miles Turner.
Yeah.
So I think the Washington Wizards are going to be. I think that's a dark horse.
I think we've said that about them for years though, and they've been terrible the last 2 seasons.
But if you look at their aging center core, they got rid of all those players.
How old is Dwight Howard?
That's what 31, 32. He's not that old.
But he's been around the league a long time.
He can still produce. It's not like he's averaging 10 points per game. He's averaging almost 17.
He's averaging a double-double, basically.
That's Kevin Love numbers. So I think that the Washington Wizards can surprise. I think
you look at the playoffs last season. You had Toronto, Boston, Philly. We already know those 3 are going to be the top 3.
But you're comparing. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Cleveland. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs without LeBron James.
Yeah. I can't see that.
Indiana, Miami.
Or do you want to quickly go in? I think they re-signed Kevin Love. Do you want to talk about that quickly?
Yeah, that's a big contract, and that tells you that he wants to be there.
Yeah, I think people are counting out Cleveland just because the King left. I mean, I can obviously see why.
Million.
He's not worth that money. But Cleveland,
it's over $25 million a season.
If they let him go, that's a disaster. So they had to have signed him to that contract, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going through the Eastern Conference here. So you obviously have Boston first. Now, who's second in your opinion?
I think it's either Philly or the Raptors. But Philly, I don't know.
Philly, man.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen Kawhi Leonard play with the Raptors yet.
True, but with these rookies getting Boston to games, was it game 7 or game? No, I think it was
Boston
5.
or Philly.
Philly versus Boston. Philly lost in 5. Oh, okay. Well, they beat Miami, so that's something to work off of. But I think with just the amount of young players the 76ers have, they're going to be better than the Raptors. Even with Kawhi.
Raptors, let's say they're going to be third.
Okay.
Fourth, it's...
I'm still saying Washington.
I don't know. I think Milwaukee's going to be interesting.
And they lost Jabari Parker.
Yeah, but he barely played for them last year.
He was injured.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He barely
Chris
ever
Middleton.
played for them.
They got Ursula Silva.
They added Brook Lopez.
The man himself. Is he on the Lakers?
Yeah, you tell me, bud. Is he on the Lakers or what? But I don't know. I think they could have a really good team.
I think Miami's going to fall out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't see them.
The one team that I think... Now, if you were to pick a team...
that's out of the playoffs. I think we already did this once in the last podcast.
Well, let's do it again.
Yikes. Maybe Detroit with a full year of Blake Griffin, maybe?
Brooklyn, maybe? Actually, I don't know about that.
I mean, a healthy Reggie Bullock, Reggie Jackson, maybe.
Don't they have Stanley Johnson? Is he still on the team?
Andre Johnson, maybe.
Wait.
Yeah, there he is.
Who's that?
Henry Ellenson, good for him. Blake Griffin. They
got Zaza Pachulia.
Oh my God,
the Kawhi killer.
Yeah, watch this. He's probably gonna go out there and injure Kawhi now, and Raptor fans are gonna riot.
So you would pick the Detroit Pistons?
Do you see anybody else that would surprise you?
The Knicks?
Really?
Well, Kevin Knox is
going to be out for a little bit longer, like the season, or is he going to be back ready to go?
I think he's going to be back ready to go. He's nursing a knee injury?
Well, Kevin Knox looks really good though. I'm not going to deny that.
Kevin Knox, the guy from France they drafted last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be really. Where are the Knicks here? I'm just going to check out the rest. Tim Hardaway Jr. was really good last season for them.
Well, no, I mean they got Trey Burke. Or is that Tristan?
Trey Burke. 13 a game. He was pretty good.
They actually picked the guy from the Magic, former 5th
Mario
overall pick.
Hezonja.
A decent swim.
Will Moutier and Ntilikina, will they be any good? I don't know. Kevin Knox, obviously. Are you joking? Joakim Noah, Kristaps Porzingis, and Enes Kanter.
You think they're going to be better than the Pistons?
No, they could possibly be, but you saw how bad that team was last season.
I would love to see a Detroit and New York series.
No one's coming out alive from that.
No, they're all going to be, bloody.
Yeah, only 2 people
it's
died
like Malice
today.
In the Palace again.
Yeah, only 2 people died at the Palace today.
It's like the Von Artesh crap. Do you remember that?
Oh, God, yeah.
Malice in the Palace.
Meta World Peace.
Who changes his name?
To that.
So World Peace is your last name. I mean, I love World Peace.
Hey, what's your last name, bud? It's World Peace.
What's your first name?
Meta. Wow. That's rough.
Especially on an attendance.
Yeah. Is Meta World Peace here?
No. Can I get a World Peace meta?
Hey, a World Peace medal. That's terrible.
Medal?
Meta. Oh, well. But, I mean, for the Raptors, I think this was a great signing.
I think so, too, man. I think so, too. We were talking about this, and it happened. So, great. Greg Monroe, the Moose, welcome. He's obviously going to be starting behind JV, or he can slot in those big minutes like he has done in... I think he was starting in Milwaukee.
Look, if Ibaka and Siakam...
Wasn't he on Orlando, too?
If Ibaka and Siakam don't work out at the 4, like if they're not starter material, why not try Monroe there?
Is Monroe a center or a power forward?
I think he could probably play both. I don't know how...
Well, when he played with Drummond was the center, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So he was... Is he a power forward?
I'm just going to check his size.
No, he's tall. He's like 7'2". He's a tall guy. He could probably...
He's 6'11".
Oh. He's big, though.
Yeah, 265 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big boy. But, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be quite the interesting one here. But I think we're going to move right on to the questions here. You're about to pull them up right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just about to pull them up. If there's anything you got to say about the Monroe signing.
I just think that
this...
I just really believe that the Raptors had big problems last year grabbing defensive rebounds. They gave up way too many offensive boards. And I think a guy like Andre Drummond off the bench, I think is going to do wonders for this team moving forward. I think he's going to help JV with his rebounding. I think this is a fantastic signing at a very low risk type move at a 1-year, $2.2 million contract. Now, we're going to crank up the questions. Who we got first?
We got Jen.
Jen, what's up?
When do you believe the Jays will be competitive again?
Well, you said that already. You said
2 to 3
years.
Yeah, so I would kind of answer that. So around 2 or 3 years.
I think Vladdy and Bo will probably be up here at some point next season. I think
we got Chatterbox Review. Are the Raptors done making moves this offseason?
Well,
or you see them swinging another trade before? Well, trade, free agents are one thing.
No, I think they're done. I think that's
free agent signings, probably some depth pieces, I'd imagine. But the main issue was backup center, which we already...
With Jakob departure, obviously.
And then we got Greg Monroe. So, signing, yes. Trades, no. Jays making the playoffs. When will the Jays get rid of Joe Biagini? Yeah, this is interesting because I know we don't really want to hate on him, but we kind of have to.
Yeah, the Jays, they were down 3-0 or 2-0 yesterday. Made it a 2-1 game yesterday.
Well, we know what happened.
Bottom line, he blew the game for the Jays yesterday.
Why does John Gibbons keep throwing him out there in these situations?
I wish I knew.
Okay.
I really wish I knew.
So he's not going to get traded because Gibbons loves him.
It's a 3-3 ball game. It's the 7th inning. Sorry, I think it was the 8th inning even. Why are you throwing Joe Biagini out there to try and in a whole situation, a guy who can't throw anything lately? It baffles me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you too, but he won't get traded just because Gibbons loves him so much that if he were to trade, Gibbons would probably resign. He'd probably be like, I'm not working for you guys anymore.
The question is, will John Gibbons get fired?
That's, I think, another time for another podcast.
Yeah, we'll leave it for another podcast.
Michael, okay, so Michael, do you want Oakland to have the second wild card or Seattle?
Oakland.
I think we want both Oakland, just because they've been so crap for so long.
Well,
so is Seattle,
made the year playoffs in like 15 years, but...
Really?
But with Oakland, they're a team that nobody talks about because their payroll is so low. Right, with Seattle, you have Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, they got all these big names. With Oakland, you have a bunch of young guys coming up and doing their thing. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and no,
I want to see them make it.
Oh, this is an interesting one. But Stephen W. Wangs, do you think there would be a women's basketball team in Canada, a WNBA team? I never thought of that. I would love it.
I mean, I think there probably should be. I mean, Toronto is like a big enough place that I think they could definitely find the players to do so.
They have one in Syracuse, for Christ's sake. I think they can have one in Toronto.
Yeah.
So I would love it.
I personally think they would.
We should start a petition, honestly.
Why not have a WNBA team here? I mean, like they have an NBA team. We have basically every other team out here except for that.
Yeah.
Why not? It'd be very interesting.
Okay, do you think if Kawhi Leonard won't re-sign with the Raptors, will he get dealt at the trade deadline? No.
No. Depending on where this team sits. If the chemistry is totally off and they're not even in the playoff spot, which is a bogus statement.
But if we're going for it and we are second, 30, maybe even first in the conference,
then yeah, you keep him.
Oh, obviously, you don't trade him.
No, you don't move a guy like that.
Because we can go all in. Okay, we kind of mentioned Joe Biagini, Steven, but thank you for the question. Do you think Oakland can get into the first wild card spot from the Yanks?
That's interesting because, like you say here, he's only three. They're only 3 games back of the New York Yankees.
That's a good question, Michael. That's a good question.
And the crazy thing is, the Yankees have really fallen. They're only 5.5 out of not even a playoff spot.
Yeah, it's when again. I'm going with this.
The exact same thing happened.
When was the last time Oakland passed the Yankees?
Oh my
standings
goodness.
wise, probably in the 90s.
I don't even know.
With Jose Canseco.
The
man.
I don't even know, man. But like the way the Yankees have been, I think. Remember when was this? Actually, wait, it was last year. Yeah, they were playing the Minnesota Twins in the wild card game, but they should have had the division.
No, the Yankees didn't make the playoffs. I'm thinking of the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, I remember back when, I think it was before the Jays made it, or something like that, Dallas Keuchel was pitching in the wild card game against the New York Yankees for Houston. The problem with all that was, that was the year the Jays made the playoffs, because the Yankees fell so fast, they barely made the wild card spot. And they lost in the wild card game.
We made the wild card game.
I'm not sure which year that was. I'm not sure which year this was.
Because Baltimore and us.
I'm not sure which year it was. But Houston played the Yankees because the Yankees fell so fast.
It's probably last year then.
But they played Minnesota last season.
So it was probably 3 years ago.
That was 2016. Or 2015 with the Blue Jays.
2015 because
we had the division that year.
Yeah, right. Because 2 years ago we faced Baltimore in the wild card game.
Exactly.
So it would be 3 years.
And that's very interesting to see because the Yankees, at the same time of year, are starting to play some not so great baseball, and they're falling. They've lost way out of contention of the divisional spot with the Red Sox being there.
But we know that, I don't know if they can catch the Red Sox, probably not. But
no, they can't.
We know just the firepower that team has. Pitching's always kind of an issue. Well, Jay Happ's injured for them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on the 10-day DL for them. So Jays fans, I guess you're looking pretty good at the Brendan Drury trade now. Brendan Drury, Billy McKinney. He's doing all right as a Blue Jay. I mean, again, he hasn't really played a whole lot this year, so technically this is really a spring training for him.
Right.
But look, do I think the Yankees can fall into the second wild card spot, or do I think Oakland can pass them?
Absolutely.
If they keep playing the way they are, I think absolutely they can do that.
But you can never count out the Yankees, especially with the firepower with this team.
You really can't.
But Oakland's no slouch either, so it's going to be interesting.
I think that's going to wrap this baby up.
Anyways, guys, thank you for listening
Just over an hour.
Yeah, so this is probably the shortest.
One of the shorter podcasts.
But, again, guys, we'll catch you when? Next?
I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe Tuesday. I'm not too sure. I think my schedule is pretty messed up this week.
Oh, jeez. This is going to be fun. But, guys, we'll
tweet it out. And I'll figure it out to you guys in the videos to come. But we appreciate your guys' support every single podcast, every single week. We thank you guys. Twitter is down below. The main channel is down below. Evan's Twitter is down below. Follow up. Send me a DM. Do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow as the Jays open up the 3-game set against the Red Sox. Here we go. Marcus Stroman's on the mound, so if there's any positive, I guess it's that.
He's not really positive?
Well, I mean, he's a guy that I actually like. So, I mean, there you go.
And then Joe BG is going to be thrown in there. And
All right, so anyways, Evan and I will talk to you guys next week sometime. We'll figure it out throughout the week,
tweet it out for you guys.
And, hey, we'll talk to you guys next week sometime, hoping for, oh, my goodness. It'll be
Episode 25.
Episode 25.
We're almost at the 30 mark.
A quarter of the way to 100. Crazy.
That's crazy, man.
All right, we'll talk to you guys then, and hoping for some positive things to talk about. Blue Jays, Raptors, and Leafs edition. We'll have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you guys then.
Peace.